And welcome to this week's edition of Wings Weekly. Today we'll be talking with Coach Anzalone. We'll be talking about the upcoming weekend against the Minnesota Magicians. We'll also recap last weekend against the Minot Minotaurs. And we'll even briefly touch on the fact that the Aberdeen Wings have clinched the 4th spot of the NAHL Central Division. So that is coming up next here on Wings Weekly. And welcome back to Wings Weekly. And joining me now is Coach Anzalone. And Coach, thanks for taking some time.
My pleasure.
A split over the weekend against the Minot Minotaurs, home and away. And Coach, run us through Friday night. Home game for us, a 1-0 victory, but really, I mean, the scoring was so tough to get at.
Yeah, it was a playoff style game here at home for us. I thought we played a real good team game. We competed really hard. Our team defense was good. Luke Kania made 3 or 4 real key saves in the hockey game. I thought we did a good job on both sides of the special teams. Our power play didn't generate a power play goal, but yet we got some scoring chances off our power play. Our penalty kill was outstanding. We scored a really nice goal in the second period. It was a hockey goal. You know, we held the puck in their end zone. We were heavy on the puck. We got greasy at the paint. And we just did a real good job defensively. We were very structured below our blue line. Everyone sacrificed. Everyone bought in. And it was a playoff-style win for us at home. And it was a nice way to cap off the season and say thank you to our wonderful fans.
You know, what did the players take from that? I had to believe there's a lot of intensity and a lot of energy from the players themselves.
Yeah, the players were really, really pumped. It was just a nice way to cap off the season, and by that I mean cap off the season at home in terms of playing home game number 30. But the guys were real pumped because it was a well-earned win. Anytime you block a lot of shots and it goes down to the wire and you have to buy in defensively, it just feels that much better. And we used everyone in that game. Like, we had a number of players out of the lineup. The illness bug bit us again on Friday night. And everyone dug in, everyone contributed, and it was another one of those games where everyone in the room did at least one thing to help us win the game. It was a team win, and it makes you feel good.
That's right. Something that we did was a captured photo here. And this photo shows you going out onto the ice and saluting the fans, and a lot of people that have watched a lot of hockey games, especially in the junior levels, know that it's not real common for a coach to go out there. But what were you feeling when you came out on the ice, man, and was showing some love for the Wings fans?
Well, that was just me saying thank you to the fans. We have the best fans in the North American Hockey League. The fans are on their feet every game. We're very, very fortunate to play in front of an energetic crowd that comes out to cheer our guys on. And you know, as a coach, you don't always show emotion. You don't always walk out on the ice like that. It was the last home game of the year. It was a really good, gutsy win by our guys. And I've said this before, and I mean it. It's not me just putting on a face for the camera. Our crowd does a wonderful job here of being the 7th man on the ice. And the crowd really helped pull the rope in the final 2 minutes of that game where we had to dig in and hold on. And that was just the way of it. It was the last home game, a regular season home game. It was the cherry on top of the cake. It was a hard-earned win. And that was just me, in my own way, trying to say thank you to our great fans, because we are blessed. We have the best fans in the league.
Then we go into Saturday night, and the Wings traveled on the road to Minot. The long trip, you know, what did we expect going into that game, coming off a 1-0 victory at home against them the night before?
Well, we expected them to push harder. We expected them to come out with a little bit more jam, and they did. I thought we played just okay in that game. There were some moments where we did some real good things. There were other moments where I felt like we could have been better. We didn't do a good enough job taking care of the puck, and they showed us why they're a second-place team and why they're one of the top teams in the league. So that was one of those games where there were some things we'd like to do better, disappointed in some areas. But we move forward. We have 2 regular season games left. We've clinched a playoff spot. And the most important game on our schedule right now is Friday night against the Magicians. There's no looking back. We'll try to have a good week this week and be ready for game number 59.
And you mentioned that, Coach. We did clinch the 4th and final spot in the NAHL Central Division. But we do have one more week left, and that's against the Minnesota Magicians on the road. Coach, obviously a lot of people think, oh yes, we made the playoffs, but yet there's still another week. How do you control those guys back into it? Do you use this as an opportunity to work on things? Because the Magicians themselves have clinched a playoff spot as well.
Well, we've gotten a lot of mileage out of here by going one day at a time, and that needs to be our focus this week. Have a good practice, have a good game Friday night against the Magicians. The fact of the matter is, if we're sitting here 1 week from now, next Tuesday, and we're not feeling good about our effort against the Magicians, that puts us behind to start the playoffs. So the Austin Bruins are very important. I expect we'll be ready when the time comes. We'll prepare properly. But right now, we just need to focus on one day at a time, good practices, and a good game Friday night in Richfield.
And we've seen the Magicians a bit this season. And tell us a bit about their team or some areas that you really want to focus on this weekend. Is there some players that stand out to you?
Well, they're a quick team. They're good offensively. They're good off the rush. They have a good young goalie, Vaughn Aarons, who had our number the last time they were in our building. They've played some real good hockey against us. I feel like the scoreboard hasn't always been fair to us in some of our previous meetings against the Magicians, but I give them credit. They're a hard-working, opportunistic, timely team, and I expect these to be two real competitive games between two teams that have built a nice out-of-division rivalry.
And this will be game number 59 and 60 for the season. Coach, what has been the difference? Let's go back to September, October, and think about that Wings team that we started with and how much we've grown. What are some areas that you can really sit back and say, you know what, I'm so happy. That was an area I really wanted to focus in on.
I think just the overall maturation of the individual players and the maturation of the group. And as the coach, you see these players every single day, and it's kind of hard to describe or put into words in this format how much some of these guys have matured. One area that I'm pleased with our group is for the most part, the attitude, the emotion, the physicality that we need to play with. I feel like that's been better. Wasn't great Saturday night in Minot, but all in all, I feel like we're understanding how hard we need to play. This league and this division has been a wonderful teacher to our players about how hard it is to win, how hard it is to be successful, and how physically and emotionally invested you need to be every single night. So lots of positives surrounding our team, and hopefully a lot of time left, hopefully a lot more room to grow here in this season.
Well, there's not much of an off season technically because we get right into camps and things like that, and as soon as the playoffs over, and sometimes even during the playoffs, you might have some camps and things like that. What can we expect out of pre-draft evaluation camp coming up in May, and registration's available on our website now?
Well, gosh, that's about 2 months away.
Right.
I mean, to your point, it's right around the corner. The pre-draft evaluation camp's a great opportunity for players to come and be seen by our entire coaching staff and our entire scouting staff. We view the pre-draft evaluation camp as a great tool for us as an organization. We're evaluating kids not only for our main camp in July, who we want to invite back with the thought of the player maybe playing for us in 2015-16, but we also view the pre-draft camp as a great opportunity to get to know kids for a year or two down the line. Quite often in this league, you tender a player, you draft a player that started in your pre-draft camp. So it's a great opportunity for players to come out and impress us for the now. It's also a great opportunity for players to come out and start the relationship so they can get on the radar and maybe be a part of this team one day in the future.
You know, when we talk about recruiting, the Aberdeen Wings have a recruiting page, and kind of gives a little insight about what they can see on that type of page, and we'll send you a link as well on this video. But you know, what can they expect out of that page on the recruiting page?
Well, the recruiting page is a way for us to try to bring the Aberdeen Wings, the Odie Ice Center, the Aberdeen community, everything we do to the player in a matter of a couple clicks. We have our alumni information, players that are playing in college hockey, players that are in the United States Hockey League, information about our facilities, about our culture, our track record of player advancement. Basically, I could have summed it up by saying we try to bring our culture to the player as best as you can on the internet in a matter of clicks. So prospective prospects should check out our recruiting page. We've got some nice videos. You've been instrumental in helping us with that. So it's a great opportunity to try to bring the recruiting visit to the player, because not every player can get out here.
That's exactly right. And Coach, again, best of luck this weekend against the Minnesota Magicians, and we'll tell you about how you can tune into those games, watch them, and listen to them coming up next. And Coach, thanks for taking some time today.
Okay, thank you very much.
And a big thanks to Coach Anzalone for joining us on this week's edition of Wings Weekly. Coming up this Friday and Saturday, the Aberdeen Wings take on the road to Minnesota Magicians, and you can hear those games on 94.1 The Rock, ESPNAberdeen.com, as well as watch and listen on FastHockey.com. Now, a lot of people may be talking, well, the playoffs are coming up. That's right. The playoffs are coming up, and the Aberdeen Wings have clinched the 4th spot, and they'll be taking on the top spot of the NAHL Central Division, the Austin Bruins. Now, the first round will be April 3rd and 4th at Austin, and then back here in the ODI Center on April 10th for a guaranteed Game 3. Game 4, if needed, will also be here at the ODI Center, and then Game 5 will be on the 17th in Austin. But for ticket information and anything else regarding the playoffs, make sure you check out AberdeenWings.com. Make sure you link up with us on Facebook and on Twitter, and always follow our YouTube channel as well, because you'll be in the know of what's going on with the Aberdeen Wings. And we're excited about the playoff berth, and we look forward to seeing all the Wings fans here for that first home playoff game, which will be on April 10th. Other than that, cheer on the Wings as they're on the road this weekend, taking on the Minnesota Magicians Friday and Saturday, 94.1 The Rock, ESPNAberdeen.com, and watch and listen on FastHockey.com. That's been this week's edition of Wings Weekly.